Say what needs to be said. It's your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. Week 8, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's get into it. The number 1 and number 2 draft picks go head-to-head in what will go down as a defensive matchup, a good defensive game where two physical teams just getting after it. C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Although Bryce Young got the victory over C.J. Stroud, it was a tight defensive game, like I said, right? But Bryce Young outplayed Stroud, throwing for 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. That's always a positive thing for a team and a coach to build off of, especially when you have a young rookie quarterback come into the game and not turning the ball over. But the difference is this game came down to the fourth quarter, and who can put points on the board in the fourth quarter? Not the first, the second, or the third, when the game is on the line in the fourth quarter. Like I said, these are the first and the second drafted quarterbacks in the 2022 NFL draft. So everybody has high expectations for these young men. You know, like I said, they both did good. But Bryce, we all know the Panthers run the game, so he was the one that answered the call. He was able to lead his team to victory in the fourth quarter, right? He was down by, I think the score was like 12 to 14 or 12 to 13, something like that. And, you know, he drove his team down there and was able to get the victory when Stroud couldn't put any points on the board. So shout out to Bryce Young, was able to overcome whatever it was he needed to overcome and get his first victory in the NFL. And we can't underestimate that because winning in the NFL is very, very hard. And to see, you know, the quarterback or someone you've been in competition with from the draft to the combine to now and to get your first victory over him, I know that had to be a confidence booster for him. And I think the difference is the head coach came out and he said that he's going to hand over his play calling duties because he felt he wasn't getting the job done. And it showed a 0-6 record. And now you winning. And you hand it over. So shout out to coach for standing up and being a man and seeing the truth and not having an ego and trying to just control things, right? Now, the Jets, how about those Jets, man, and Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson is coming into his own. We're living through Zach Wilson and we're seeing the immature side of him, the little mature and the mature side, just seeing him growing, you know, because it's a process coming from college to the NFL, being an amateur to college to a professional, because a professional is the ultimate goal. And that's not easy just to come in and understand how a professional works and acts. You have to learn. So let's talk about Zach. Zach Wilson, he took a major step forward when he played, but he played his usual Zach Wilson game. But the difference was he was able to lead his team back from comeback and to be victorious, right? That was the difference. He was able to lead his team from a comeback and be victorious. That's a huge confidence booster if you don't understand, especially for a quarterback, a young quarterback who's having a troubling and trying career. That was a huge confidence booster, and that's the confidence he will need in the future to help the New York Jets win games, right? That's the confidence he needs. Again, no interceptions. Zach Wilson continues to not turn the ball over. That is a positive. Even if another quarterback was there throwing more touchdowns and more yards, but maybe turning the ball over, it might not be as impressive as Zach Wilson. So we got to continue to support Zach because I always said and I always felt like he has the tools and the ability. He just has to mature and understand, and being around Aaron and older guys may help him out a little bit. And then another plus, a positive, was he was connecting with Garrett Wilson, the talented young receiver on the team. You know, that needs to be the connection. And he had 7 receptions for 100 yards. That's a very positive. That's something to look forward in the future. And the coaches can have something to build off of. And that gives Zach Wilson confidence. So, hey, man, Zach, keep doing your thing. And, you know, the defense going to continue to play good defense over there at the Jets. And, you know, they have a winning formula. They just need Zach to continue to progress and be confident and mature, be a professional. All those things come into play. The Jets can do what they need to do. Now, let me tell you, it's fun to cover the Cowboys when they're winning. You know, America's best team, everybody's favorite team. You know, when they win, they take over over all the media coverage, all those good things. The hot and cold Cowboys, right? They so hot and cold, right? But they played exceptional against the Rams. The hot and cold Cowboys. That was the quarterback Jerry Jones expects him to be each and every week. CeeDee Lamb was very productive because he was used properly, right? But the difference was, I think it was DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland, he's not getting enough credit. The guy continues to make big play after big play after big play. And he was able to intercept the ball and run it back for a 30-yard touchdown in the first quarter to help change the momentum of the game and help give Cowboys the lead. And like I said, to take the momentum. That right there took the breath out of him. And then Dak came and then did his thing, right? Like I said, he continues to make big play after big play. You can't underestimate those because turnovers are one thing, but turnovers for a touchdown, man. And I think that's his third touchdown this year. So, don't underestimate the things that he's doing on that side of the ball. That DaRon Bland and 3 touchdowns, man, that's a hell of an effort, right? And Micah Parsons, right? He continues to show up and be destructive like he always is. And he had a strip sack and just being the destructive player that he always is. I think the difference was for the Rams is the Dallas Cowboys was just too physical of a team for the Rams. And Matthew Stafford isn't the quarterback he used to be. He looks totally different. He is not the quarterback that, led the LA Rams to the Super Bowl or, in his prime or things of that nature. The LA Rams look like they are totally in rebuild mode and, you can't really, there's no players out there you understand is like, okay, this the player they're building off of. This is the player on the team. This is the one that make plays, or this is the go-to player. So it just looks like the Rams are in totally rebuild mode everywhere. Now, shout out to the Dolphins. How about those Dolphins? The return of Jalen Ramsey. Everybody been anticipating. There was a lot of drama. It said he was coming back this week. He made a reply as if he wasn't coming back that week, but he came back this week and he showed up big. He was able to land his first interception as a Miami Dolphin against the Patriots in the red zone when the Patriots are potentially about to score 7 points, right? That felt good. And when he was intercepted the ball, he had a nice run back, but that interception led to 3 points for the Dolphins. So your turnover leads to points. That's a good feeling. Not only was he effective in the passing game, he's also was physical in the run game as he always and usually is, forcing a fumble. Being physical, he forced a fumble. I don't know. I don't remember if they got the ball. I think it was a flag or something like that. But just showing you the dynamic that he brings to the defense being physical, right? But on the other hand, I am not a fan of Tua Tagovailoa when he is forced to pass. Let me be clear. I am not a fan of Tua Tagovailoa when he is forced to pass, right? And the play design is not there for an easy catch and throw read. You know what I mean? When the play is designed and, you can do his little pretty pass fakes and throw the ball and the play is designed for to suck the linebackers up and just hit a quick pass. He can do that all day. The game is not on the line. It's not a tight game. You can just run our offense and do what we want. But when the game is on the line, you're down by 7 or 14 points, and everybody knows it's a pass. That's the problem I have with Tua Tagovailoa. Because you see in the game and in situations where everybody understands the pass, he can't just go back there and make a quick read, like the play action reads, and he has to create plays or find the open man. That's when he's at his worst game. And that's what in the part of his game I want to see him get better at and continue to grow. And then, I can become a fan of Tua Tagovailoa in passing situations. But he's doing his thing and nobody could take that away from him. But how about your boy Belichick and the defensive genius everybody say he is? The defensive genius can't stop Tua, Tyreek, or Jalen Waddle. He can't stop nobody. Overrated. But y'all don't hear that from me. Y'all don't want to hear me and all that stuff. The defensive genius can't beat Tua. He is 0-6 against Tua Tagovailoa, but he's a defensive genius. This is what y'all believe. This is what y'all say. This is things I got to hear. He's known to stop everybody, but he can't beat Tua Tagovailoa. How does that feel to y'all? Let that sink in. All right. The Cincinnati Bengals Are they back? If you watch the game, you'll know the difference, right? Because the difference is Joe Burrows. The difference is he's starting to get comfortable. He's starting to get that feeling of confidence in his injury and his knees and the surgery and all those things because he's starting to use his feet. He uses his feet to beat San Francisco. And that's what it's all about. It's about doing what it takes to win, right? All of the things that made Joe Burrows the number 1 draft pick is starting to come back to light, right? Extending the plays and connecting with Jamar Chase, running around, feeling the pressure, the things that him and Jamar Chase did at LSU, the things that they did that led them to the Super Bowl, all those things we're starting to see again, even though it's kind of, in the middle of the season, but Joe Burrows had a lot of things. It's tough to come back from an injury mentally tough the way you left. So it takes a while. Usually they say 2 years, but with technology and everything, things speeding up, right? Joe Burrows is starting to will this team to victory. That's what I mean. He's starting to will this team to victory by doing whatever it takes, not just passing the ball or scared to extend plays. He is doing whatever it takes now, right? And that's using his feet when necessary, like I said. And if you watch the game, you see the difference. They was able to beat a good San Francisco 49ers team and play against a good defense. That defense is a heck of a defense. The problem with San Francisco 49ers, and I know everybody think this is a great team, and they are a great team. They are a good team. They could be really good. But Brock Purdy, he can't handle a 17-week season. 17 weeks is a very long season. When I came into the NFL, I was ready to go home after 11, 12 weeks. That was what I was used to playing college football. We had to continue and play 16 weeks and then, 17 weeks with the bye week. Then we went to the playoffs. Then we went to the Super Bowl. Man, I wanted to really, I couldn't take it no more. It was so long, right? And I think that's the thing with Brock Purdy. He has to understand that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not how fast you can get there. It's how long you can last, how much you can recreate yourself, how much you can fool trick the defense, how much you can make the defense believe something that's not true. They watch the tape 1 week, they see you doing one thing and they think you're going to do it the next week and you're doing something else. They know that's what it's about in the NFL because they're watching tape. And like I said, for 17 weeks, they get to gain more and more data on you, more data. So you got to reinvent yourself and, and understand it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And for the 49ers to be dominant in the NFC, Brock Purdy has to play better. And I don't see him doing much better than he's doing. I think he's downhill and like always, he's trending downhill. And unless Kyle Shanahan can figure something out, I see trouble in the future for the 49ers. Like I said, yes, I said it. I see trouble in the future for the 49ers. That's just the way it is. Now, what's up with these Kansas City Chiefs? The Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to tell you what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid's system, it lacks consistency, and it's always been that way. It's going to lack consistency because he is a pass-first coach, right? So when you're a pass-first coach, you have to depend on Mahomes' magic. But the problem is his magic isn't so magical this year. And nothing's going to change because Andy Reid believes in the pass. So Andy Reid will live and die with that pass first and run second. And this makes life stressful for Patrick Mahomes. He looked like Shedeur Sanders out there running for his life. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to always be, he don't have to be under the stress all the time. Because he can just hand the ball off and run the ball more and make the defense be honest, make the defense play run defense sometime instead of just always in pass defense because we know Andy Reid going to pass the ball. And, with the threat you have with Patrick Mahomes, you can put him in pass defense and run the ball. So that's an easy thing for Coach Reid, but that's just Coach Reid's model. He's going to throw the ball because the statistics show and the analytics show that the more you throw the ball, the more you win. I had a personal conversation with him. So that's how he thinks. That's what everybody believes. That's with Coach Reid. But the main issue was third down and short. It was like third down and 2, third down and 3. Still too many pass attempts. Now this is the chance for you to run the ball, but coach still has to, come up with some nice design plays instead of just being a physical team. And that's the issue with Coach Reid. Sometimes he don't understand that he just has to make it a physical game. And it's not about the tricks and deception and all those things, right? Now, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens against the Cardinals. What do we want to see from Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson and the Cardinals? We are ready to see Kyler Murray, man. That's what we're ready to see. Cardinals, when is Kyler Murray coming back? Although Josh Dobbs, we not complaining about Josh Dobbs. Kyler Murray, we are ready. Josh Dobbs is doing a great job. Don't get it twisted and don't get it wrong, right? But we are ready for the Kyler Murray magic. Where is the Kyler Murray magic? Because, the Cardinals continue to be competitive with Dobbs and all those good things and coming very close to victory. A lot of games, but they need that super weapon, that superpower, that person that's electrifying on that team, and that's what they're missing. Josh Dobbs didn't have much time to prepare and understand his team, but he's doing the best he can, and I'm sure if he had more time than that, he would do a hell of a job. But like I said, Kyler Murray, where are you at? The Cardinals in Arizona is waiting on your magic. Lamar Jackson, against the Cardinals, he slowed down a little bit from his MVP performance last week, but he continues to do what it takes to win. That's what it's about in this day and age, right? Because these quarterbacks these days, they're not just pocket passers. They don't just sit in the pocket. They do what it takes to win. They got legs, you know what I mean? They all 4.5, 4.6, 40-yard dash runners, right? And if you think that's slow, that's very fast for a quarterback, right? But with these quarterbacks, it's not going to always be the prettiest. It's not going to always be the sexiest statistically, right? You're going to see, you might see 17 for 25, 125 yards, but it's a victory, and it's convincing victory, right? This is what a good team is made of. A good team wins with team wins, not individual wins. Not this person makes me win. Not a Patrick Mahomes, not a Tom Brady, not a Michael Vick. Good team win. All right, moving on. Say what needs to be said.